We're going to work some new movements today in our active class. And first, we're going to start off just kind of with isolation movements, hip hikes. And then I'm going to move into something totally new for I think, all of us, maybe. Terry, maybe you might have had something like this in the past. It's a series of ground actions and movements I'll get into. Then we'll revisit shark. So Milen, this might be new to you, but Terry and Helene, we're doing shark today on our foam rollers at different orientations. And then of course, I want to revisit our squats. So just like I said last week, we are in a legitimate class where we have set goals now and we have something to measure and we have progress to work from week to week. So this is very interesting. I'm having some minor issues with what seems to be reception. So I hope nothing pauses out here. Am I okay for now? Okay, good. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is going to involve a block. And this is our hip hike series. I'm going to demo this first. I'm going to take the block and I'm going to place it just a couple feet from the wall. I'm not going to worry too much about straight arms right now, but I just want to play with the following action. Generally keeping the head stacked over the shoulders, shoulders stacked over the pelvis, and the pelvis stacked over the knee and ankles. I just want to begin to focus on hiking my hip up. And so this is my right hip coming up. And when I'm doing this, I'm going to feel my right obliques engage, the right side abdominals connect, and even the serratus, the rib muscles connect. And then what I want to focus on is keeping both of my legs straight. I want to focus on now dropping my right hip and reaching my right heel to the ground. And so that's our action. We're just using the wall for support, but we're keeping structure, vertical structure, and we're just focusing on this hip hiking while we keep both of our legs straight. So perhaps we stand with our left foot on the block. How does that seem for everyone? So actually put yourself up against a wall for this if you can, Terry. Good. Because when you're doing this, everyone, I'm going to give you just, I'll build some structure into this. For now, all I want you to focus on is hiking that right hip up and then dropping the right hip down, reaching the right heel bone into the floor. Good. And so having your hands on a wall will just allow you to get that reaching down motion through the right heel a little bit more. So we have this contraction, this sense of connection on the right side. And then ideally, we might find this sense of stretch in the obliques as well. Maybe even piriformis. Good. It should feel nice. Just another reminder, we're really focusing, guys, on keeping the legs totally straight. So that's mountain pose. Good. And now as you're doing this, can you internally rotate the floating foot? That's our right foot, so that it's at that perfect parallel that we usually do in our mountain pose. It's our mountain pose feet. So good connection to the right obliques. But now that you've been doing reps of this, right? Another thing that you're going to notice if you're keeping your legs straight is you're feeling that left glute muscle really start to get a little bit of a tingle in it. And so we'll just play with this a couple more times. Really focusing on the end ranges, reaching your heel down to the ground, which should give you a nice stretch at the iliac crest, and then hiking the hip up and feeling the front and back obliques connect. Good. And then come off your block and walk around. Good. Breathe. Good. So that's a really nice way to find the sacrum too. You know, get a nice stretch in and along the sacrum, a little action, mobility there. Let's go to the other side. So now we're going to go right leg on the block. And let's just build that structure right off the bat, right? So we're going to have that slight internal rotation in our floating leg. That's our left leg. We have structure in both of our legs. That's kneecaps on the leg, mountain pose legs, and then we're going to inhale to hike the left obliques and exhale to drop the left hip. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. And so just taking that inventory as you do this action, maybe noticing, does it feel more accessible on one side than it does on the other? And if you're noticing in your body that you tend to list when you're standing, is there some sort of correlation there? Keep the leg strong, good internal rotation so the midlines of the feet are parallel. Are you leaning into your standing leg? Is your hip popping out, or are you staying structured throughout there as well? All interesting questions to ask yourself as you move through this action. Good. Keep breathing deeply. Couple more times here. Excellent. And there's a lot of different variations of this, but we're going to move through one more. Okay, so come off your block, shake it off. How do we do there? We do okay? Yeah. So how often do you get to work those obliques, right? In isolation like that. It's a really interesting action. It's almost like, oh, you know, when I first encountered that, it was kind of later on. You know, like, oh, that's a new movement. So functionally, this applies to a lot of our positions, our warrior positions and our lunge positions, where we're making these adjustments in our hips and where we're connecting to the obliques. So it's much more relevant than you might think. So I want to now do the same thing, but we're going to take it on an all fours position. Unique, yes. So I'm going to have my left leg as the float leg. My right leg is going to be neutral leg. And so notice both feet have the toes, the tips of the toes on the ground. I'm mountain posing my arms. I'm going to work structure in the spine. And then I'm going to work on keeping the feet right where they are. But I'm going to inhale and I'm going to try to draw these right obliques up and back. You're going to feel the back obliques connect. And it's the same thing. So I'm going to inhale up, lift the back right hip up. You'll know you're doing it if your left knee is higher than your right knee on the block. And then you're going to exhale and you're going to reach the left hip down to the ground. Okay. Inhale up, feel the obliques and actually transverse abdominis connect. Exhale, sink the left knee down, inhale up. So maybe right knee on the block first, left knee floating knee, if you're not doing it yet. Index fingers parallel, right? If we're keeping real supreme structure. Elbow pits forward, shoulders down the back. Good neutral spine, chin is tucked, neck is long. Find that core connection, find that posterior lateral breath. Inhale the hip up. And now that's kind of our easiest position to find first. And then exhale and reach the hip down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up and exhale down. And as you're lifting that left hip up, you can drive the right knee into your block a little bit more. And you'll feel a little more torsion in the low abdominals. And then inhale up. A couple more times here. I'm going to take a gander. I'd say if you're not resting, give it 4 or 5 more times. And then release it. Good. Interesting, subtle. But again, relevant, right? Because this is us drawing one hip forward or one hip back, you know? A lot of the time, you don't get that kind of articulation in the spine unless you're really twisting, like a martial art or something like that, or dance, you know? But typically in a kind of linear yoga class, you get less of that. So we're gonna go with the other side now. Left knee on block, right knee is floating knee, or I should say right pelvis is floating pelvis. So we're really feeling this happen here in the core connection and probably the shoulder girdle, because we're disassociating the shoulder girdle from the pelvic girdle, right? We're trying to keep the shoulder girdle neutral while we're trying to keep the pelvic girdle mobile in action. And so this, as I've said before, is my tight side. And boy, oh boy, am I getting a really nice, it's unforced torsion that's driven by the core in my sacrum and lumbar spine. And what we're even trying to avoid is leaning. So are you rocking as you do this action for these last few reps? Or are you keeping the weight even on both of your hands and both sides of your shoulder girdle? Everyone looks like they are. And 1 or 2 more. Reconnecting the breath on those last two, exhaling the knee down and inhaling to connect to the knee and the core muscles. And rest and release. So how did we fare there? Yeah? Was anyone confused by that? And so now I want to get into something that I've been doing since I was probably 14. And this is what I call the ground, G-R-O-U-N-D, kick series. So we're going to move through kick archetypes, but they're deconstructed on the floor. And so as we get used to and rebuild our hip mobility in these actions, eventually we're going to make ankle weights, light ones, you know, 1 pound ankle weights, a potential prop for this. So it's infinitely scalable. We're going to start first with a variation on a teep kick or an instep kick. Didn't think you'd be doing martial arts today, did you? I'm going to set up position for you. And so this brings in elements that we've had before, like rolling and spine articulation, okay? I'm keeping this kind of Belgian kickboxing guard. Don't expect you to know what it is, but it's hand up past the brow line and elbows squeezed in. So you're real compact up top and you're squeezing your knees together real compact. And then you're also bringing your feet as close to your sitting bones as possible. So you're all just balled up here. Now watch what happens. Left leg first. I'm going to roll back using my core muscles. Chin is tucked, neck is long. And then I'm going to keep my right foot on the ground, point my left foot, and kick, using that kind of controlled momentum as much as I can. At my end range, then I'm going to use my hands to pull myself into a deeper stretch. And then watch this. I'm going to kick my foot down, back into position. And then I'm going to switch sides, rolling down, kicking as far as I can, getting that stretch deeper, and back. So I'm not swinging my body, notice. It's controlled momentum. Carry on, dear friends. Knees together. Elbows against knees, that's it. Nice and slow. Exhale down to the kick and inhale up. Now I'll keep doing it so you can also have a.
Hey, Adam.
Yes.
That is, what are some tips about coming up and not straining your back?
Yes, so here you are, boom, down. This is leg and chin tucked. So it shouldn't happen in the back at all. Watch what happens. I'm kicking and the leg swinging like this is going to help you up. Or slow it down. So the leg comes down and then you roll yourself up like you're doing a Pilates ab roll. Where did you feel that? Lumbar?
Yes.
Yes. Do those cues?
I did it the way you just gave a correction, and I'm okay now.
Listen, any new movement, right, Helene? Low and slow is the way to go. That's my usual motto here. Low and slow is the way to go. Beautiful. That's the pace, Helene. Yeah, deconstruct it. I was even moving a little faster just so you could see the whole action kind of in that repeat context. So you can be down here, enjoy the stretch part, especially if you point your feet and point your toes. You're going to feel a real nice stretch over the top of the foot. And then you can deconstruct that core action working with the leg, right? So then here we are in step. Stretch, breathe here. Hinging the leg should help you roll back up. Yeah. Good. Give it a couple more tries. Good morning, hip flexors. Good. And rest. The next one is going to be a heel kick, okay? And so if you're not a martial artist, don't worry too much about it, okay? But a heel kick, at least in Thai boxing, is a driving kick, right? Where you're pushing whatever your target is away from you. You're trying to create distance. It's driving through the heel. And so again, yeah, okay, you all can see me. What I'm working here is this base position, right? So we'll call it ball. and feet are as close to your backside as possible, knees squeezed together, right? You can't fit a credit card between them ideally. Hands up, elbows in. Now, what's going to happen here is you're going to keep that connection in the core for sure. You're going to lift the leg off the ground, and then you're going to drive through at the heel and find a cat in your core. So that's flexion in the spine, real deep core connection. Hold for a beat with a deep flex in the foot, and then return to an upright. So again, my spine is extended now as much as possible in my base. I'm lifting the leg, kicking. Now I'm rounding the spine. And then when I return back to base, I'm upright again. 1 second. Does everyone understand that? Yeah, fantastic. It's challenging, Milen, if you're wondering like, this is hard. What you're doing right there is called compression strength. Using your core integrity to keep your body compact. So if you're feeling like, I can't breathe, you know, all of those things, breathe into your ribs and find space. Yeah. Helene, that's really good. Everyone draw the ribs in as well, and that will help protect low back. That way you're using upper abdominals as well. Everybody. Okay. We're alternating feet, right? Give it about 50 more. And that's a 2-1 count. So left, right is 1 rep. No, I'm just kidding. Shake it all off. Good. Take a break. Take a breather. So what we're doing with these deconstructions of kicks is we're actually strengthening the tissues that you would use to find those kicks, right? We're using that specific part of the hip flexor to be able to have strength, right? To lift the leg and hold, right? But we also have the mobility to be able to get our leg there, or the flexibility to get our leg there. Okay, back kicks are from all fours position under our sternum or slightly above, right? We're gonna have this diamond shape with the hands, right? In our all fours position. And then let me demo really quick here. So what we're doing with this is we've got that diamond set up in our all fours. I'm gonna keep my hands exactly where they are now. I'm gonna drop my right elbow and my right shoulder to the ground. They're naturally gonna drop down together. I'm gonna look either under my left arm or over my left arm, and I'm gonna draw my left leg back, right? I wanna focus on not letting my foot turn out like this, gang, if you could see me. I wanna internally rotate my foot like we're in Virabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3, right? And then I return to all fours, and then I'm gonna switch sides, dropping away to my left elbow and shoulder, looking under my arm is the most ergonomic, and then I'm gonna drive that right leg back, internally rotating the right foot, okay? Sorry, my mic's in the way, let me adjust. Hopefully that's a little better. Boom. And when your kick is fully extended, excuse me, you wanna feel the extended leg glute connect. So feel the glute and the hamstring right here start to connect. That's how much you're extending that leg. So beautiful, these deconstructed kicks. Can you extend your leg so much and maybe lift it a little higher so that you can really feel that glute connection, so that you're not, if you're looking to see what I'm talking about, kicking low like this, Can you get a little bit higher, but maintain that internal rotation? And then return. Boom. Kick. Give it a few more. So when your arms are straight, maybe long inhale. When your arm is bent, long exhale through the kick. So we're still connecting to the breath and the intrinsic core in the same way. Well, yeah, little arm work too for you there. And then shake it all off. Good. Yeah. Maybe if you want to walk around, take a walk around for a second. We're looking good. Any questions so far? We're going to now work on our side heel kick. And so this one is, yes, it's a kick, but what it's really about is about the spine and the shoulders. So I'm going to demo this one for you. I'm going to kick with my right leg. Oh, it's definitely about the glute too. So note, it's almost like I'm setting up for like a supine twist or like a spine twist. I'm on my left. That's my left arm, elbow. My right knee is bent and it's on the ground. It's not floating, it's on the ground. My shoulder is stacked over my elbow. That's a weird one. So if you're confused, take a look at this. My shoulder is stacked over my elbow, and so is my other shoulder. So nothing's dropping here, right? Everything is stacked. I'm looking right at the camera. Thumbs up if you get it so far. Good. Both hands are on the mat. And now watch what happens. My bent knee, I'm going to extend straight out and I'm going to drive straight through the heel. So glute to heel, boom. Now watch my spine. I was stacked in the shoulders before when I'm setting up. Now watch, kick, and I face the ground. So I'm really using the glute to drive through that kick. Bow, bow, bow. And then you bring that knee back up. Bow, bow. How we doing there? So when you're in setup, your left leg is the one on the ground and it's straight. Your right knee is bent. Beautiful, everyone. Good so far? You're totally stacked. So you're facing what I think you would call the right side of your mat if you're at the front of your mat. So you're out to the side like this. You're on your elbow, and then your top hand is just on the floor. And you're all doing that. And then you straighten that left leg out slowly, or excuse me, that right leg out slowly until you feel that glute connect. Now you're facing toward the ground. And then you bring that knee back up. Yeah. Reset your knee on the ground. Beautiful. And you are just kicking this really minute target here. So you're driving the bone of the heel, the calcaneus, great name for a bone, right at one sole target feeling the glute connect, and then your spine's elongating as you draw your sternum toward the floor. This is a good kind of back line position. And then the knee comes back up to base position. Exhale to kick. And then bring it back. A couple more times here, gang. And then release it. And then just move right to the other side. I think you get the action. I will talk you through it. Right leg still has a lot of structure. Yeah. I'm on my right elbow now. My right palm's on the ground. I'm facing the left side of my mat. My left knee is coming right up as high as I can bring it. And then I'm going to extend straight through that leg. It's almost like where it is like my legs are right over each other when I'm in that side kick. And then you reset to base. Reestablish position, and then exhale. And then return. And then exhale. Are you still structured in that bottom leg? That's a good thing to check in on. So that bottom leg's still in horse. When you kick, that left leg goes in a horse. And give it a couple more. Oh, fantastic, everyone. And then when you're ready to take a break on your back and windshield wiper the knees. Yeah. All right. I always like to save the best for last, you know. If you can ever count on one thing with me, it's pretty predictable. I'm going to save the best thing for last. So I want to focus on our round kicks now. And so this is going to be something you're familiar with. We're going to start to work that spiral position in some different movements. So this is where your front leg, that's my left leg for demonstration purposes, is in a 90 degree. Your back leg is tucked, and your back leg foot is pointed. It's not flexed, right? It's pointed like a ballerina. And ideally, you want to try to get your heel up toward the sky here. That's the best kind of tucked wing position. So I'm in a spiral position right now for base. Look at my guard. I have my guard now. So I'm going to fall away to my left side. I'm keeping my guard. As I do that, my tucked leg is going to come across. And then I'm going to return back. I'm going to show you that one more time. I'm going to show you that one more time, and then I'll field questions. It comes across, boom. And then it's going to come up. So I'm falling away to the same side, boom, and it's going to come up. Okay, so I see a Halim waving hands here. Was that you? One across. Oh, that was you, right? Yeah, Halim. Do you have a question? I thought you were waving at me like, do you know? No, okay. So I'm going to demonstrate one more time, but from behind, because it's a little weird. Okay, so look, my right leg is 90 degree, but that's the easiest part. or my left leg is 90 degrees. Sorry, left leg. My right leg is tucked. Watch what happens. Guard, falling to the left side. Right foot comes across. Then you're going to bring it back. Then it's going to come up like this. So before it was across and now it's up. And then you return. One more addition. You can go across and stretch a little bit. So use your top hand to stretch the leg. And then same thing, you can go up and stretch a little bit and return to your spiral. So just work one side for now. Yeah, across. Good, Milan. Awesome, Milan. Good. Terry, great. Yep. Cross. Let's see you. Helene, across. Yes. And up. Yes. Point the foot when you're kicking. Point the foot. Beautiful. That'll give you a little more space. Beautiful. Fantastic. And you're resting on that left arm, and do one or two more and then just shake it off. So we're doing this kind of rotational, this whipping action. We're trying to drive it all from the core, like everything that I say that we do, right? So take a rest, shake it off, and let's go to the other side. This is a new movement, right? And it's kind of complex. There's a lot of things that you got to keep a mind on. So be gentle, and also know that each side is different. If you're feeling real strong on one side, it may not be the same on the other. I'm going to do front and back as you guys work through it. Now my right leg is front leg. My left leg is back leg. And then I'm falling away to my right side on my right elbow and right forearm. And then that kick is going to come across. Left oblique really connects here. And then I'm going to swing that leg back to find my pigeon. And then again, I'm going to fall away on the elbow, same way. And then the leg this time comes up to the side. And then I swing my leg back and return to position. With the stretch variant, same thing, across at your end range, your active end range. Then you can use your left arm to help. We're pointing, not flexing. We're pointing, not flexing. And then up and stretch. Good. And the whole time it's helpful to look at your foot. It actually is, because it helps influence the angle of your spine. And see if you can sequence the movement so that you're feeling it in the core first as the leg is whipping around a millisecond later. Now that's a deep cue, but if you're familiar with it, a couple more tries. Terry, I know you did hard style, right? Or yeah, so you probably have some familiarity with this action. So think about spine out with these kicks. And then let's take a break, shake it all off. Windshield wiper the knees. You can do that upright or on your back. We're gonna be ready for shark. So if you thought that was fun, right? Now I'm gonna throw you for a real loop here. So watch for a moment, and then we'll get to it. So my right leg's behind me, my left leg's in front of me. It's the same kicks. Now I'm just switching sides in between. So watch this. Across, up. Here's the part I'm adding. Look, man, no hands. Across, up. Look, man, no hands. And look, if you got to go look, Ma, hands, that's fine too. But I just want to give you something to move toward. You're switching sides now. Across, up, switch, across, up, switch. Across, good. Good, Milan, watch this now. This is my leg. It's just coming up. Yes, pointing the foot. And then down. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Perfect. Give it a couple more. No, not a couple more of anything. About 8 more would be a more honest amount of reps. Yeah. We're twisting. Internally rotating, externally rotating the legs. This is great. Now we go a couple more, and then after that, carefully come up to standing, and nice, Terry. Real whip there. That was awesome. And then walk around a little bit. Yeah.
Are we doing the other side?
Oh no, that was a switch. Watch.
Oh, okay, let me do a couple. That's fine. Yeah,
let
thanks.
me show you real. Yeah, do the other side, but I'll show you what we were doing, okay? So my right leg is the kicking leg.
Yeah.
It's going across. You got that part. That's no
Yeah.
problem. Then it's going up. You got that part. No problem. Now here's the part you missed. Watch this. I'm switching legs now without hands. Now my leg is kicking to my left leg. You got that. Here's the part you missed. Right here, I'm switching. It's the switch that you miss. When you do it like that, you get both sides.
Yeah.
So give it a couple minutes. Everyone's walking around. Remember not to walk around in just one direction. Make sure you walk in a right circle and a left circle. Some hip circles, very nice. Helene, how is oh, she walked off frame. I don't want to. How's your back? Is it okay? Give me a thumbs up, yeah? Okay, cool. Oh, a strong thumbs up. Good. All right, excellent. So yeah, we're no longer, at risk of what I call and what my teachers have called sagittarius, only being front and back, right? We're twisting now. Sagittal. Which yoga, runs the risk of sometimes. Too much forward and backward, but not enough lateral. All right, gang, so we're done with our ground kicks now. Ultimately, what happens is when I was teaching students new kicks, these are the deconstructions. I would show them first, have them repeat, and it just really got them conditioned for really nice, supported, and strong kicks. All right, friends, it's shark time now. So we've touched on this before. I want to play with back shark first. And so we did do this a little bit, but let me just cue it out for you now. Oh, I love that we're starting to get here. This is really just really exciting for me. So we're in this position now. Let's put that there. Where we're doing these spine rolls, right? Pretty simple thoracic spinal rolls. Let's just start. I'm going to have you, not right now, I'm just showing you what I'm going to do with sequence. We'll just do the upper spine. So that's, just a kind of passive. But then what I want to start to play with is tucking the chin and having that gentle cat, that connection in the core. You're going to have your palms together, lacing the fingers right in front of you. And then you really have to keep that core connection. But ultimately, what we're going for is full elongation of the legs. Notice my feet are pointed and my legs are straight. I'm using my core to hang off of here. Then I'm digging my heels in the mat and I'm pulling myself back. This is where my shirt got caught, and I said I was going to catch myself, but I didn't. I said I was going to tuck my shirt at the beginning of class, and I forgot. Tuck your shirts, everyone, because that will hamper your progress. I'll demonstrate. If you're still confused. Boom. So here I am. Boom. Full core connection required to not be putting this in your spine. If you're feeling this in your spine, you have gone too far. Then use your heels. You're using your heels on the ground to pull yourself back. The spine, the foam roller is at kind of the mid-shoulder blades. My chin is long, or my neck is long, my chin is tucked. Oop, too much momentum there. And so at your end range, the max end range, again, the legs are so strong. The kneecaps are on the legs. The core is connected. And then if this is feeling like you could take it a bit further, keep your fingers laced. Your upper arms are next to your ears. Nothing else changes, and you work through the same action with your arms over your head. Drawing the ribs in, as well as the totally straight legs, straight arms, and shoulders down the back away from the ears. You keep moving. I'll keep watching. And so what I've given you is that end goal, right? Totally straight legs with pointed feet. Like a fish or a shark. Yep. And we're not feeling that in the spinal column, but rather we're feeling that in the front of the body and deep intrinsic core. And then you're using the hamstrings to use the heels to pull the body back. Yeah. And so technically, the only thing that's changing in the body is the bend in the knees. Yeah. And the core connection. Couple more times. And break. Good. Shake it all off. So Helene, I'm seeing, I saw a cringe on your face. Was it a muscular cringe? Okay, all right, all right. So don't throw out your spine to spite your shark, you know? That didn't make any sense. But like, definitely just keep it in the core. And if, let's just say hypothetically, right? If somebody came in and they were having a disc that was bothering them, for them to go to their comfortable end range is going to give their nervous system, right, the same sensation of challenge and connection as someone who is fully extended. Because if that person is feeling it in their spine, they're not going to be able to use that core connection to begin with. So really just work where you're comfortable today. And that information is always subject to change. So now I want to work front shark. Front shark. I'm going to show you this one again. So basically, front shark is a chaturanga practice in a way, but it's chaturanga in motion, as well as myofascial release. Oh, I love this. So basically, I'm starting at the top of my hips. Now take a look at my legs. I'm not doing anything with my upper body yet. I am keeping my legs totally straight. Does this seem familiar? This is the same action we worked just before. So in our last action. So watch what I'm doing here. Here's our base position. The foam roller is just under my hip bones. It's at the very top of my thighs, okay? My arms, ideally, are lined up with my ears, and my spine is straight, and my core is connected because I have to be here. Now watch what happens. I'm going to drag through on my hands and my forearms. I'm doing this real slow. See, I'm on my forearms. I'm on my forearms. My legs are still straight. And then watch what happens. I'm lifting my elbows off the mat. I'm in the bottom of my chaturanga. And then I'm going to straighten back. You may want to stop, gentlemen, just at the genitals, because that's not ergonomic. And everybody, just stop right below the groin, okay? So here I am, my arms are straight, my legs are straight. They're both in horse. My shoulders are down my back. My spine is in cat. I'm using my core to sustain this. And then I'm dragging my body forward. I'm on my forearms until I can't be on my forearms anymore. My elbows got to lift. And then I'm at the bottom of my chaturanga. My elbows are squeezing in. I'm going to take a look here.
I have a really intense stretch on my upper thighs when I roll it on the roller. Is
Yes.
that okay?
That's an intense myofascial release on your thighs.
Okay.
So this is another reason why you have to keep your legs so straight. Like pull your kneecaps onto your legs. Because if your legs aren't straight, that foam roller is going to dig right into the front of your thighs. So you got to make your thighs hard by making your legs straight. Okay, I can see you, Terry. Good. And so it's just like your body. Beautiful, Helene. Your body is almost like a piece of plywood that's rolling on that foam roller. It's not changing its shape as it rolls forward and back. Helene, stay low to the ground. Keep your nose the same distance off the ground the whole time. We haven't done back bend yet. Yeah. Milen, from what I'm seeing of you, you look really good. Just keep your head in alignment, chin tucked and neck long the whole time. So your nose is traveling, I'm judging off of Terry, 7 to 8 inches off the ground the whole time, about the height of the foam roller. Good. Okay. Take a break for a moment. Oh boy. So I'm adding something that we haven't done yet, friends, okay? And this is what I call dolphin. We have the same action here, but when we come to our chaturanga, watch what I'm doing. I'm lifting my right hip to my right elbow. So I'm touching my right elbow to my right hip, and I'm looking at my right foot. And then I'm returning the center, and then I'm straightening back out. And then I'm bringing myself back, and watch, elbow to hip, and I'm looking at my left heel. So this is core and left obliques, and then I'm returning the center, and I'm bringing it back. I'm going to show you standing what that looks like. So this is the base position. I'm rolling along the ground until I get here, right? That's the end movement. When I do that, I'm lifting my right hip to my right elbow and squeezing them for a moment. And then I return to center, and then I straighten back out. And then I roll on the roller, left elbow to left hip, straighten out. Breathe into the ribs and back if you can. Beautiful. And it's a smaller movement than it looks like. Yeah. And you're really going to feel the right obliques. Nothing else changes in your body except you're doing a side bend with your spine. There's no arching in the back. The spine is in cat. I'm going to do a couple reps with you. And after that, we're finished with the shark series today. Remember, if you look at your heel, I'm looking at my right heel right now, that really helps a lot. I'm returning to my starting position. Strong core, shoulders down the back the whole time. I'm sliding forward. Now I'm going to look over toward my left heel. Return to center and then straighten back. I'm going to do one more. And then bring your elbows and chest down. Press yourself up. Milen, were you able to engage your legs strong enough to not feel like you were getting a Rolfing session?
That was so intense for me, but I did it and I'm proud because my arms feel stronger now.
For sure, and it's really great for shoulder mobility. It's really great for core connection and also starting to assimilate scapular muscles into movement.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good for so many things. So
I know. I need to do that like every day.
Or just, we'll do it once a week or, once every 2 weeks. But this is kind of an archetypal movement that we'll start to play with. Now, if there's any discomfort in these actions, this is so important. We find ways to minimize it by first letting the tissues heal, and then, just starting with uncomfortable ranges and just working within them. That's a key. So, all right, final movement, everybody, squats. Wow, timing is good today. Helene, you good? Okay. Awesome. Terry, awesome. All right, let's boogie. So we all have our trusty inflatable ball or some sort of foam roller would work as well. And so this is an interesting have your foam roller on hand for this. Yeah, have your foam roller on hand for this after a couple. So, and if you have a strap on hand for this. Sorry, I'm modifying as I go. So another archetype that we find ourselves enjoying is the overhead squat. Okay, that's doing a squat with your arms in that earlobe alignment, right? Overhead alignment. And so I'm going to show you sequencing. First, we're just going to do what we did last week, actually. We're going to start to find that range. And so your tailbone is going to stay the same distance from the wall the whole time. My feet are about 2 feet away from the wall. You may need to adjust. Now watch. I'm going down into my squats. I'm rolling with the ball or my foam roller, and I'm going into my lowest squat while keeping my tailbone and sacrum the same distance from the floor or from the wall the whole time. And then I'm going to press back up. You could shake it for a moment. Spine stays straight. Tailbone sacrum stays the same distance from the wall the whole time, and press yourself up. And just play with that action for however long feels good to you. 8 reps, 10 reps. Your knees and your ankles want to be in vertical alignment at the bottom of your squat. So maybe, Milan, you might want to actually bring your feet a little further forward. Try that. Yeah, I'm going to take a look at you. Yeah, perfect. That's it. Nice, Terry. Are the midlines of your feet parallel, and are your knees over your ankles? So you're going to feel, yeah, they are. Oh, yeah. And you're feeling at the bottom of that squat, you're feeling the sides of the hips open up. My Lord, everybody. Your gaze is on the horizon as you do this. That's a thing I remind myself of. Sometimes I'm checking my feet because I'm used to checking my feet and others, but that's no excuse. You guys, oh my goodness, look at that. All right, take a rest, shake it off. All right, we're gonna start to progress. This is where the strap comes in. So now, same thing, we're just taking the same squat on. Okay, I can see myself. I'm starting with my hands forward. I'm gonna lower myself down into my A to G squat. And without flaring my ribs, I wanna try to maybe just tap my knuckles on the ceiling overhead. And then you come back with your hands forward. The arms are totally straight. The shoulders are away from the ears the whole time. So again, I'm not swinging my ribs open. The core is connecting here. Bang. I just scratched my back. That hurt. Bang. Hands overhead. Bang. Good. Ow. Just scratched my back on the plaster wall. Woo. Helene, that looks awesome. I'm watching your upper trunk carriage. It looks great. Yes. Good. Yes. Let me see. Are the heels lifting? Oh my goodness. Y'all are gonna make me cry. Look at you. Give it a few more reps. I am so proud of you guys. That is awesome. Look at that, Helene, that deep squat. That's awesome. Good, the deconstructions help. They help get your body there. Relax, shake it off. Everybody, so good. All right, I'm gonna give you one more, okay? One more kind of modification. Now you don't have to do these things, right? If you feel like you're getting plenty challenge out of what I just showed you, forgetting an integral part, then don't sweat it. You don't have to do it, but you just know that things are scalable. As my coach said, infinitely scalable. Okay. I'm putting the foam roller on my head to begin with, all right? Just because that's as close as I can get it. I'm keeping my hands on the foam roller the whole time. If you're really feeling like overachieving, you can try to bring your palms toward the wall behind you. That's really hard. Without flaring the ribs, you're dropping in the deep squat. Midlines of the feet and knees parallel. Ooh. Knees, the ankles. Ooh, I just flared. Good. I'm getting harassed by a bee. Oh no, it's over there now. Good. Let's see
My
here.
shoulders are way too tight for that. And then my plaster wall is too sticky. I can't do it against with my body.
That's okay. That's okay. It's just
Do you have a
something
modification?
that's what the strap is. That
Oh,
prior
okay.
one we did. Yeah. I am getting harassed by a bee. Okay, good. I'm not crazy. Sorry, I was getting.
It happens to me too. The wasp or the bees.
Yeah,
They think you're a flower.
I am. I'm a delicate little flower. So, yeah, the strap is what will help you build that mobility over time. Yeah. Okay, rest from that when you're ready. You can give it a few more reps if you're feeling. Okay. Straight elbows there, Terry. Can you get those triceps? Oh, yeah. So shoulder mobility is the real thing. Yeah, you want to feel the shoulders and the upper back and the triceps, really creating that structure and good tension in the upper carriage. Good. Time will tell. Yeah, or you could go wider, Terry, with your arms. That'll help you go straighter. So instead of this. Okay, everyone. Shake it all off. So, any questions about anything that we covered today? Deep squats were just fantastic, everyone. I mean, I don't know what to say. Really, really good. You know, and now eventually what we're going to do is we're going to take that load off the wall, but I'm not in a rush for that. I want to start working that overhand because here's what happens. Here's the thing that is I'm noticing that I want to kind of this knot I want to untangle with all of you is it's the shoulders. So in our yoga practice or in overhead squats, when you bring the arms up overhead, a couple things can happen. Either A, you don't have the mobility in the shoulder girdle to get your arms up here. Milan, that's you're talking about when you're in your squat, yeah? Upper spine mobility. The other thing that happens is you try to get there by swinging your ribs. If you swing your ribs, look at my arms. My arms aren't moving at the shoulder joint. It's actually my spine that's taking that load. Thumbs up if that makes sense to you all. Yeah, so that's a really common compensation in any type of repetitive mindful movement. And our deep squats are awesomely functional, but also they help us clear away the immobility, right? And build strength in the places where we need it. So that's kind of one of my goals I'm working you toward. And the deep squats are telling me it's starting to work. So, okay, I think that's us for today. It is 11:02. I'm going to call class today and we'll save our savasanas for Wednesdays. Is that cool, everyone?